What's up, everyone? It's 2026, and this is Tournament Tactics NFL Week 18 Main Slate Breakdown. Let's do it.
Let's go! Geek on the keys, Kevin Allen with the vision. BobbyWow 2 times already won, 2 millions, no fiction. Burns in the shark lab, calculating the math. Wrote the damn book on how to run up a bag. Desire pull up, the MILF Slayer in the building. GPP trophies on his neck, keep the whole chat thrilled in. Turd hat, who? Not us, we eating. Heat it. Oh! Tournament tactics, we stacking the bags again. Really make $100s, yeah, we cashing in. Helmets up, blue moon in the cup, boner alert. That over under going up. Core plays, lock, domination, station pop. Props, base projections make the whole field drop. DFS Army. Tournament tactics. Let's put.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the NFL Week 18 edition of Tournament Tactics. I know some of you guys are asking about Burns. No one has heard from him. Ever since the Ohio State loss the other night, he has just gone AWOL. We're out looking for him. We don't know. We're just going to give him some time.
Yeah.
He'll be back.
He needs space. Give him space.
Give him his space. Give him space. He'll be back. All right. NFL Week 18, gentlemen. It is the week of understanding what, who, where, when, why, and how. Who's got what to play for? Who doesn't have? Who's got what to not play for? Almost as important, Josiah. And who's something to play for? Who has something to not play for? So I want to go. I'm gonna just do a quick team by team here, and just kind of get into. I'm gonna just do my fit real quick, and then I'm gonna add in a little editorialization.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's start AFC real quick. Broncos need to win to get in. They're going all out to ball out, right? They're playing against a Chargers team that is playing backups, so they should be able to get that win. Patriots, a win and a Broncos loss gets them the bye. If they lose and the Jaguars win, they can actually fall to the 3rd seed. So there's a secondary motivation for them to win, to hold on to the 2 seed, I guess. Kind of, right? Not as important, but I think if you're the Patriots, you got to play it to win it, because you don't know. I guess by halftime, you might know, because the Broncos will probably be up 24-0, but still, they're probably playing out that game. Steelers and Ravens are the night game. It's irrelevant to us, but that is a game where the winner will get in. Texans. Houston can still win the AFC South if they win and the Jaguars lose. Regardless, a win will hold on. And this is why it's so important for them to win, because we think the Jaguars are probably going to win. Maybe. I don't know. Actually, they could lose. But how crazy would it be? So Houston can win the game and win the AFC South with the Jaguars loss. But you want to hold on to the 5 seed this year, because that gets you probably, I guess, the Steelers, or the winner of the Steelers-Ravens. Is that even good? I don't even know if that's actually such a benefit. Now, as I think of it, I'm not even sure that that's such a great prize. So either way, the Texans got to play it. Chargers have already said they're not playing this out. They are locked in. Wild card, they don't care. Similarly, and this is the one that's the most important in the AFC, the Bills. They're locked in to a wild card. There's some seeding stuff going on here. They can't win. They can't get a bye. And Sean McDermott talking about the last game in Highmark Stadium, and we want to go out with a bang. Bullshit. Okay, sorry. I got a little cold. A little cold here, Josiah. Flu's going around. Josh Allen rolling with a Q tag.
Yeah, no thanks. Come on.
Yeah. That's tough.
I don't trust this at all. I don't trust Sean McDermott. None of this Highmark Stadium bullshit. Nope. I don't buy it. So I'm going to throw the caution flag up on the Bills. Flag on the field.
Although maybe Mitch Trubisky gives them the best chance to go out with a bang. I mean,
I don't hate that.
The backup quarterback can come in. I believe they're playing the Jets. They're a lock
love
button.
Mitch. I love money, Mitch.
Like, they're still going to win this game. The question is, are they going to win it with like James Cook and Josh Allen? Or are they going to win it with Mitch Trubisky throwing it to, I don't know, a random wide receiver whose name we haven't heard of just yet?
Real.
Ty Johnson getting involved, Ray Davis. And are we going into NFL week 18, fucking around with Ray Davis and backups? No. So forget it. Raiders, Jets, Titans, Browns, Chiefs, Bengals, Dolphins, all eliminated from the playoffs. None of those teams have any reason to rest starters, nor do they have reason to play them. And the way I play week 18, and I'm really curious about your guys' thoughts, but I really like to stay away from any kind of veterans that are on teams that are able to rest the starters. I feel like veteran respect, sometimes they want to play, but other times it's like, all right, we don't need to see what we have from, I don't know, like even let me think through these names. Like, are they going to roll out Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow for the full game?
Yeah, that's a good example.
Like maybe. I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying, you ever go to school on the last day of school? And like the teachers are there and they're like, oh, we're going to be learning. And then you get to the class and it's just like, all right, guys, do whatever you want.
And like people leave halfway through the day. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's a little bit like that. A little bit, not fully. So just be aware and mildly beware. So I prefer youthful teams in week 18 that still want to kind of prove themselves. Hey, I need another game of experience for Jackson Dart, by the way, and stuff like that. Like, okay, they're going to play it out. But like, do we really need to see what we get from, Jonathan Taylor this week? Do we really need to know if he's good anymore? Like, no. If I'm the coach of the Colts, I'm kind of like, all right, JT, you had a great year. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe you don't need to get 40 carries in the final game of the season.
Yeah, I agree with you. The one time I remember it kind of screwing us was maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Keenan Allen randomly getting 2 touchdowns week 18 with absolutely nothing to play for. I don't even think he had any incentives, but he was in the nuts lineup. I remember that really pissed me off. But for the most part, you're right. Like, I try to stay away from older players this week who have absolutely no reason to do anything.
Yeah. I'm not saying, by the way, this is always going to work. We're definitely going to remember that Keenan Allen experience, but we don't remember the 70 other players that we faded that sucked. So it's like, remember that your memory is also going to trick you a little bit. And I'm definitely not saying that none of them can have a really good game. What I'm saying is the more vetty they are, the more questionable their tag is, the more it's just like, hey, do I really want to go Amon-Ra on this slate? He's got a Q tag. Team's got nothing to play for. We don't need to know what Amon-Ra can do. We already know.
They hate the Bears. Amon-Ra hates the Bears. That's one I would absolutely be okay playing.
Yeah, they're not.
But a lot of these teams you mentioned in the AFC, they made it easy on us, right? Like, we're probably not getting a ton of Jonathan Taylor against the Texans anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't a good matchup to begin with. Yeah,
exactly.
So there's
even the Browns, they've been solid at times too. Myles Garrett's going to get that sack record. So again, not like a must-play spot, even if we knew the starters were playing by any means. Now there's some added risk as well.
Yeah, and I think these guys are right in the sense that the Lions have hatred. The Lions will play it out just for hatred of the Bears reasons. But I would even say I've been thinking about Dallas. That's the team. All right, let's do the NFC. But Dallas is the team that's got me fucked in my head. So because I think that one can go either way. That's the most go either way team for me. But Josiah, you have some ideas, so I want to hear that. But NFC, Seahawks, we already talked about it. This game is tomorrow. It doesn't matter, right? Bears. Chicago will lock up the 2 seed with a win. If they don't win, they could fall. A loss takes them no worse than the 3 seed. Realistically, that's not all that much reason to play it out or to care that much. It doesn't hurt you all that much if they lose. That said, they are at home, and they would like to beat the Lions because, hated division rival, the whole Ben Johnson thing. So there's plenty of reason here why both teams are going to play it out. And further to the point, BobbyWow, Chicago, young team, has no business resting anyone.
The Bears are going to play to win.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you, I'll take it a step further. Everyone says they don't care. Ben Johnson and Caleb care about the 4,000-yard mark. I would not be surprised to see the Bears air it out more than normal, so Caleb can get there. I know it's tertiary and all that. Not blah blah blah. Yes, agreed. But also, we know Ben Johnson is going to dial up Caleb and do everything he can to get him that 4,000-yard mark. I'm all on board.
FYI, and I gave this bet out 4 months ago before the season started. One of the very few season-long bets I did, and I didn't do a lot of them. I was really just trying to season my account by kind of putting in donkey bets, keep my arbing going. But one of my preseason bets was like Caleb over 2,800 passing yards on the season. Yep. That cashed so many weeks ago.
Oh my gosh,
that was the least sweaty season-long bet ever. But all right, so Bears need a win to lock up the 2 seed. They cannot get the 1 seed. It's not available. Eagles, and this is another one, guys. Eagles, I'm throwing up a red flag, yellow flag, caution.
Eagles aren't playing their starters. They're resting their starters. They already
announced it?
Yep.
All right, so it's already been announced.
Which is crazy to me. Which is actually kind of crazy to me.
Why?
Because they could theoretically get the 2 seed still. They need a win. They need a Bears loss. Certainly possible. And it's the difference of at home against Green Bay, or you're welcoming you know what? They might be welcoming the Bucs, so not that big of a deal. But the next round they got to go to a West Coast team, I think, or they welcome a West Coast team. So it's just kind of weird though. Why would you not play to win with a chance to lock up the 2? Is it because they're going to win anyway? Is that why?
That's why they're not scared.
They're not worried. But more importantly, I think what's going on here, yes, they're saying they're going to basically play all the backups in this game.
It just feels like the last thing this offense needs is a week off. Like, my goodness, what are we doing, guys?
I think the flip side here. So I just want to let me devil's advocate this just a little bit.
Please do.
The devil's advocate here is this is a veteran team. This is a Super Bowl team, right? And they're all banged up. It's been a long season for these guys. Jalen Hurts taking a lot of hits, all that. Saquon Barkley, super veteran. These guys need the break. So I think it makes sense. This is not a team. Listen, one more game is not going to get them playing more cohesive.
100%. You're absolutely right about that. I just hate Sirianni. I think that's what it is. I just don't like Sirianni.
Yeah, they need the break. So I get it. But all right. So I was going to throw the caution flag up, but already
that's fair points.
The coach has thrown it up for us and told us they are not playing anybody. So ignore all Eagles, right? And I'm not going to fuck around with their backups here. I mean, I guess you could, but
Tanner McKee, maybe. Gross. It's gross.
The
one thing to note here is, and I don't know that it means anything, but Dan Quinn and the Commanders hate the Eagles. This was that couple weeks ago when there was that 2-point conversion kerfuffle, I think, was in this game. And you had veterans like Bobby Wagner, like guys were fighting. Like people were going nuts. Remember this? The 2-point conversion. Sirianni went for 2 to make it like an 18-point game instead of a 17-point. Or it was some dumb Sirianni decision as usual. But Commanders were fired up, and Dan Quinn was like, "We'll see him again. Mark my words, we'll see him again."
Yeah,
but that's like a little kid coming up to you being upset. Like it's like, yeah, you're really gonna try today, but I'm still the older cousin. You're not gonna be able to touch me. So I don't know. I was gonna say you could relate, Bobby. Like the Bears with the Packers for so long, but now you're back up, so I don't want to crap on you too much. But sometimes you can care about a game, but it still won't help you in it.
It's true. It's true.
Rams. This is the biggest one of them all. So let me just explain the situation. And actually, we're going to know a little bit more towards what the result is by the end of Saturday. So stay with me for a second. The Rams can move all the way up to the 5th seed. In order to do so, the 49ers need to lose on Saturday. So if the 49ers lose and then the Rams subsequently win their game, they could get to the 5 seed. Now, why is the 5 seed important? The 5 seed is the magical, we get to play the winner of the Bucs Panthers situation, which is the most desirable seed in the whole thing. But, and this is the big but.
Hey, we beat all the best NFC teams besides the
Yeah, baby, there it is.
So come on, they can come at us.
Let's go, Joe Zaddy. But first win tomorrow. Don't get ahead of yourself. First win tomorrow.
Real.
All right. But here's the big but. The big but. If the 49ers if the 49ers win, then the Rams are effectively lock button, nothing to play for, locked into the 5 seed.
Going to Philly.
Yeah. So locked in. Now, Sean McVay is a known liar.
6 seed, right? Yeah, locked into the 6, going
locked
to play Philly.
Into the 6th, playing the Eagles. No chance for the magic 5 seed, right? The Rams will have nothing to play for if the 49ers win tomorrow. The reason I'm emphasizing this right now is because as of right now, the field is not really like the field is looking at this game, and the projections and the props are looking at this game not as if they're like they're looking at it as like, oh no, they're going to play it out. They're assuming the ownership projection for Puka is super high. The prop projection, meaning the sports books, are almost playing this out as if, yeah, the Rams are definitely playing this game out. They already said so, and Timothy McVeigh has suggested as such. Guess what? All that shit changes. There is veteran of a team as there is. Okay? Matthew Stafford is old. There are a bunch of old guys all over the place on the Rams. Devontae Adams is a grandfather. He has a grandchild. That's how old he is.
That's Phil
Matthew
Rivers.
Stafford, for an old guy, has one of the smoking hottest wives you're ever going to see.
I knew
we already talked about Stafford. We don't have to come back.
I know. I went back to it because I forgot to mention how smoking hot his wife is.
We're not even at the playoffs.
Oh my gosh. She's so good looking.
She is bad though. You're right.
Oh. So anyway, they're old. And I think there is massive danger with this team if the 49ers win. So pay attention tomorrow. Timothy McVeigh. Did I say Timothy McVeigh?
I didn't hear that.
Was that the Oklahoma City Bomber?
Oh, God.
See, I can't be allowed to memorize names. I think that was the guy who bombed the building in Oklahoma back in the 90s. Yeah, Devontae Adams is old, all that stuff. So be cautious about the Rams. You cannot trust this. And the word on the street is not that the Rams are arresting anybody. That's why I'm spending so much time on this, guys. I really hope the fucking 49ers, I really hope they win. And I really hope the field assumes that the Rams are going to play this whole game out, and then I hope they don't.
Yeah, I see it the same way. I agree with you.
Yeah.
So I guess my question would be, knowing this information, how are you approaching the slate? Are you going to run 2 separate versions of lineups, or are you just going to fade LA altogether and say, to heck with it, I'm just not playing Rams either way? How are you approaching this?
I'm going to tell you, for me, I'm very comfortable just being like, I'm not going to play people. I'm right now, my sensibility is I'm just not playing anybody from the Rams. But yes, we'll know on Saturday.
That is a juicy matchup. You'll know Saturday, so you'll have the whole morning.
I'll know on Saturday. I'll even if I'm telling you, even if the 49ers lose, I'll have some thought that like, I don't know if I want to play this guy, but I probably will play them. You know what I mean? I'll have to go to it. But if the 49ers win on Saturday, I would rather let the field be wrong. And even if I'm wrong about this, hope that either way, the Rams didn't wind up in the nuts. Like I'm going to roll the dice on fading them if the 49ers win.
Yeah. And I could totally see McVay, even if the 49ers lose, trotting Stafford out for one drive, they go down, score a touchdown, and he says, you know what, that's it. I've seen enough. We're going to have to beat the Eagles eventually. Anyway.
100%.
It's been his MO forever. Like, they don't play a lot in the preseason. They rarely play the last game. So, like, it just tracks.
Well, let me ask you this. With as fragile as Puka has been throughout his career, He goes out, stretches out for one, gets up slowly from it. Are you like, that's fine, let's keep going? No, you're like, oh, dude, that was too scary. All right, you know what? Shut it down. Let's not take. We're going to the playoffs, and this is very important to understand. The Rams fancy themselves, and I think I fancy them as a potential Super Bowl candidate. Like, I don't see them as like some long shot. I think they're a real Super Bowl contender. The worst thing that you could do is just meaningless Week 18, all veteran team, Q tags all over the place. Why are you playing them?
All of a sudden, we'd be searching for two missing people, with Burns and McVay. It'd be tough to imagine McVay putting his team in harm's way. In any case,
we might find Burns and McVay together holed up in Debo's chicken coop. Oh. Get off me! What? Get off me! Hold up in the chicken coop.
That is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. Debo's chicken coop. Get off me. All right. Where were we? All right. So anyway, that covers all of the teams that have something to play. This is a very important part. You got to understand. And again, we got a couple of situations where the coaches have clarified the spot. The Rams are the biggest mystery. We didn't even get to Dallas, though. I think Dallas is mysterious as well. I don't know what they're going to do. So I'm going to throw it back. Like, if anybody has if there have been any blurbs since I've last looked, let me know. But as of right now, Dallas seems to be like they're going to play this game out. We got nothing not to play for. Oh, it's a pigeon coop. See,
Jerry Jones to me seems like because he's been mired in mediocrity for a long time now. He seems like we need momentum for the last game. We need to go out on a win and get momentum going into 2026.
I don't know
I don't see any reason. But why would you not play Dak? Why would you not play these guys?
He's had injuries before. I don't know. That entire Giants Cowboys game just looks like a big disappointment to me. It just looks like the shiny toy. Everyone's like, "Oh, this could be a fun Week 18 game."
Is he chalky? Are they chalky?
So gross.
They're chalky. That changes things for me.
Yeah, they're getting chalky. If they were low owned, I'd be down.
Wandy being out is a disaster for this game too. Like, actually, it might be great. Maybe it's like the Slayton extravaganza, but Wandy out really does hurt Dart a little bit. This is unfortunate.
Dart's a great player. We know he's going to ball out. He's going to do everything he can to ball out, and this Cowboys defense stinks. And he's cheap. He's so cheap on FanDuel. It's crazy. But yeah, I don't see any reason the Cowboys wouldn't play their guys.
Do you still like Dart with him being the second highest owned quarterback?
In cash, I think he's a great play.
I agree with that.
Yeah. There could be some. I'm concerned about Wan'Dale and Theo and like who the hell's Dart really throwing to in this one. So I do think Dart's ceiling might get a little bit more of a cap than we're hoping for. But I also think without Wan'Dale, that opens up targets for Tyrone Tracy.
We're back to this. I thought this died last week.
I thought you were gonna say like Slayton, but you're not wrong.
They never throw it a lot to Slayton, Josiah. They never do. Like, he never sees more than 4 or 5 targets. Like, they'll find someone else before they throw it to him a lot, like Isaiah Hodgins.
But like, we've been okay not stacking Dart every game up to this point. Why do we all of a sudden need a stack partner?
Yeah, at this point, it's definitely going to be naked Dart or nothing.
Yeah.
Fantasy Fling is screwed on the draft battle.
He has him. He has Wan'Dale.
He took Wan'Dale. Yeah. Yeah. Last week of the season.
Not the way to go out and Fling.
So, so we covered who's got what to play for. Again, I'm waiting for a blurb out of Dallas, but the assumption is Dallas is going to play out this game. Great. The chat is talking about both of the Dallas running backs maybe being banged up, Malik Davis and maybe Javonte Williams. So maybe we'll get a Jaden Blue game or some youngster for cheap.
Do we feel I guess my one question would be, is Schottenheimer's seat at all hot? Like, is he locked into a long-term contract? Because for sure, Eberflus is going to be most likely gone. So he's coaching for his job or another job. on the defensive side. Is Schottenheimer in danger of losing his job, or is he locked in?
There's no such thing as locked in when you're on the Cowboys.
Literally, I don't know, man. They had Mike McCarthy for ages and ages. I feel like
way too long.
Maybe it doesn't matter. Just trying to get a little read in here.
So do you think if he was kind of under a little bit of pressure, that's more likely they would go hard? Is that kind of your thought process?
I think he would be more inclined to fight for the starters playing. Would it matter? I don't know, but just that's kind of my read on it. These coaches are coaching for their next job. They don't want this. They don't want the second stringers.
All right, so let's take a look at ownerships here at the quarterback position, and kind of talk that through a little bit. There, I mean, come on, this is what I'm saying. Like, we're still projecting Josh Allen might play. No. Let's see if anybody in here is like definitely not going to play. That's getting a projection. Not really.
I like Jelly. I like Jelly Skim's thought here as well. I do think Dak is lobbying to play from everything I've read.
Maybe Dak is a really good play, but top ownership overall right now, Trevor Lawrence. He's been one of the hottest quarterbacks of the last 6 weeks of the season so far. The miracle of Liam Cohen literally transforming this guy from what was almost a bust to somebody who looks good. Where did that come from?
Some might even say unburdened.
Yeah. Unburdened by what has been. Correct. Oh, yes. You do have to allow yourself. Speaking of unburdened, Luther unburdened by what has been is a really interesting play this week, but we'll get to the wide receiver position.
Unburdened by the injury as well. He's a full participant.
So Trevor Lawrence, top dog here. You got Jackson Dart, but now without Wan'Dale, so a little less sexy than he was yesterday. Caleb Williams, sure. Drake May. And then after that, man, the field doesn't know what the hell to do with themselves. You've got CJ Stroud in that matchup against the Colts backup squad. You've got Joe Burrow, because why not? Bo Nix against the backups here. Brissett just for shits and gigs one last time. Tyler Shook not getting much interest. Understandably, guys, beware of Tyler Shook now without Chris Olave. I mean, a lot of what he's doing was thrown into Chris Olave. Without him, it's pretty much like the Juwan Johnson show, and that's not necessarily a show that you want to get involved with. I like Juwan, don't get me wrong, but he ain't that good. You know what I'm saying? And even Devon Velley's not here. Who the fuck who's catching passes?
They don't even have the beloved Rashid.
That made my whole week.
What's that?
I said they don't even have the beloved Rashid Shaheed anymore. So who is it?
Who are they throwing?
Kevin Austin Jr. Is that the guy?
I like Kevin Austin Jr. Don't get me wrong, but
Dante Pettis.
Oh, geez, Lord have mercy,
guys.
That's a
Dante Pettis is right
there.
I saw Dante Pettis in the game, and I'm like, is that the son of the guy who used to be on the 49ers 14 years ago? No, it's the same guy.
I think he's played for every NFL team because he was on the Bears for a short stint as well.
Dude, I thought that was Dante Pettis' son. Dante Pettis is like a name from yesteryear.
Old reliable.
Did Josiah just secretly drop the Week 18 slate breaker?
Could be. I don't think I've heard Dante Pettis' name in a fantasy football conversation since 2016. What the heck is going on?
Here we are.
That's a weird one. Anyway, how about Kirk Cousins out of nowhere?
As well.
There are just some random, why not? Why not Kirk Cousins? Why not the other side of that matchup? Should we just
his last game?
I'm going to give you other names.
They potentially play spoiler too. They could, if the Bucks win, they could knock the Bucks out of the playoffs to win. So give me spoiler Kirk all day long.
They're in it to win it. I'll give you another name. In it to win it. JJ McCarthy against the backups for the Packers. No ownership. Why not? It's week 18.
Fits the young narrative.
And let's not forget the other side of the ball here with the Vikings defense. Smash, smash, smash. Flores' defense against young quarterbacks has been money all
against a
season
team that
long.
has already said we're tanking it. We don't care. Oh,
they're sitting there. They're two quarterbacks, QB1 and QB2, both sitting. Leighton Toon is the starter.
That's crazy. So, ultimate smash defense this week. Vikings. Sneaky offense this week. Vikings. Interesting, right? It's coming out here on Tournament Tactics. Let's talk it through. Because I like these low-owned guys. Like there are real opportunities here to grab players 3-4%. What about Jared Goff? Unowned at home on the road here, Windy City.
I didn't get there. I don't love it. Just not at home. Not super cheap either. I like the ownership, but I couldn't find a good enough reason.
You got to think, though, he's going to do everything he can to get rid of that taste in his mouth. I mean, he literally lost the Lions in playoffs against the Vikings. He was atrocious. Don't say what you will about Ben Johnson leaving, about Campbell. Goff played the worst game I've seen in a long time. So and the Bears defense is they are bend and break unless you get a turnover.
I feel like we've seen it with both the ex Liam Cohen team and the ex Ben Johnson team, that as the season has worn on, it's like the offenses have gotten worse. It's almost like the leftover goodness from the systems were still there, but the more distance you put, the more we're seeing a downturn in the Bucs and the Lions. How the fuck did the Lions not make the playoffs? They're so good.
Sad.
I think it's showing up on a micro level more than anything else, because you're not getting these halftime adjustments. You can prepare during the week without a guy like Ben Johnson, but it's the in-game adjustments, I think, that you're seeing the Lions not make. And we saw it against the Vikings a couple weeks ago with Goff. They didn't have an answer for Flores blitz. It killed them.
There are so many money defenses. We'll get to that part, but let's kind of go through the whole quarterback group. Here, I'm not even going to do studs and duds. I'm going to do like high owned and low owned. Might as well just work off of ownerships at this point. So let's just we've got let's call it chalk, right? And I'm going to say only these four quarterbacks are chalk. Drake May, Caleb Williams, Jackson Dart, and Trevor Lawrence. So those are the four chalk quarterbacks so far as we sit here Friday afternoon. BobbyWow, start with you. Like, of this 4-pack, obviously Caleb Williams is one of them. I know you're going to love Caleb. I assume you love Caleb here.
Yeah, I do. I do love Caleb this week.
Yeah, you got to love Caleb. And the field does too, right? Great play. We've got Trevor Lawrence, who's been hot as hell to end the season. Can he keep it going? Will he even need to against the Titans? Maybe. And then you've got Jackson Dart. Again, my first choice of quarterback this week, but now he lost Wandale and fewer people to throw to. And then finally, Drake May in a smash game, but how much Drake May will they need? We just saw Drake May last week style on the Jets because it's fun to do it. But
oh my God, did he style? My gosh.
He styled on him.
So good.
But the flip side is they didn't need to. I mean, it just happened to be like that Ramondre caught those touchdowns instead of ran for them. Like, it was one of those variance things where if he just handed it to Henderson and he broke away twice, a 32 becomes a 21, and it wasn't all that great. It just worked out a certain way.
I've been all aboard the Fade the May train, and it finally hurt me bad last week. So, Vrabel is unpredictable, and they need to win the game. So they're tough to fade. I think, to me, the most fadeable is probably Dart. And even that's not an easy fade, because he can run the football as good as anybody. Yeah. But I think Trevor Lawrence here in a game we know they need to win, in a very good matchup, because they could still have a lot on the line, like you mentioned up top, and I think they play the noon game, so nothing will be decided. This game decides other things. So there's reason to play all four. I totally understand why they're chalky.
Yeah. I don't have any reason not to play any of these guys. I don't even want to disparage Dart. I love Dart, but my concerns are a little higher without Wandale.
Yeah.
I think the one thing you say about May is his price, right? Like, he is almost $1,500 more expensive than Dart. He's significantly more expensive than Caleb. Like, you talked about the variance. I do think that is true, where, typically we've seen Drake May settle into more of like just a go with the flow mode. Even if his team goes up a lot, they kind of scale things back and they pound the rock. So he's probably, now that I think about it, the easiest fade of the four.
Yeah. Now, guys, if you're watching with us live, especially my live people, one of the things that we do with the show is we don't turn on the monetization thing until after we run the live. Now, part of the reason we do that is because I don't want to break up the flow of the show for anybody watching live. It's super annoying. I hate the monetization personally, but YouTube simply will not distribute a video if you don't turn it on. So we have to do it. But for those of you watching live, we appreciate you. And just know that we appreciate the live viewing experience, and you don't have to have commercial interruptions or any of that shit. But we certainly appreciate if you are making sure to be following the DFS Army YouTube channel. There's a lot of DFS and fantasy football action happening here. So make sure you're subscribed, hit that like button, all that good stuff. Share, notifications,
do it,
all that good stuff.
I saw Josiah though lean in there. Josiah, I know you've got a take on these 4 QBs here.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm gonna fade Dart if his ownership stays this high. It's kind of like May last week, but the nice thing about May is we saw his ownership fall, and we talked about it on the pre-lock show. Hey, I like where his ownership is now. Now I'm going to play him and not fade him. So if we see Dart's ownership fall to like that 6, 7, 8 range, yeah, I'll play him. But if he stays the second highest owned quarterback without his top receiver, that's going to be an easy uncheck for me.
It's never an easy uncheck with Drazy.
No, I mean, he could still get there with his rushing upside. I'm not saying he won't. It's just at that ownership, I'm not going to take the risk.
So let's shift gears to the low owned guys. And this is, I think we all agree at this point. Yeah, Lawrence is a good play. Caleb, May, even Dart. These are good plays, right? You look at their projection, they are points above everybody else. May, Lawrence, Caleb, Dart, by projection in that order, right? So appropriate chalk. It's interesting. The next guy is Stafford. Again, you got to go bet unders now. This is a bet the under spot, because this is one of those few occasions where the bettors just might have it wrong. Again, the 49ers win. These guys have nothing to play for, and there is a very reasonable chance that, your unders are going to hit. So you might want to go do that. But in the secondary group, guys, lower owned names. Let's go through it. I want everybody to give me 2 of these lower owned quarterbacks that you're willing to take a chance on this week. This is how we're going to try to win the tournaments. Probably not. I mean, we know these guys are good. Everybody knows they're good and everybody's playing them. Fine. Who's our sneaky low owned quarterback? No one's really that sure about, that's going to break this one for us. So you've got the world of all of these low owned guys. I'll include Dax, Stroud, whatever you want.
A lot of good ones.
The lower owned, the better. Shook, people mentioned Shook without Olave could be dangerous. We talked about Jared Goff on the road, not as good. Cousins, maybe. McCarthy, interesting. I don't know about any of this trash. I don't think we should go there, but it's probably going to come from somewhere around here. So, Joe Zad, what do you think?
So my approach is similar to yours, Kevin. I'm really just focusing on quarterbacks that have something to play for. We've seen it in previous week 18s where you might see like a David Mills have like a really good game, but then like a Bo Nix who had something to play for still ends up being the guy. So I'm going to focus on that, especially when it comes to low-owned plays down here. We have CJ Stroud going up against the banged-up Colts, and he's been looking better. CJ Stroud has had and shown some upside. His O-line's still a little questionable, but they're improving. And at low ownership, in a great matchup that's softer than it looks on paper, I want to be over the field on that all day, every day. And then the same thing with Bo Nix, going up against a really good Chargers defense typically, but they're not trying this week. Their starters are probably maybe going to see 1 or 2 series, if that. And so these are just 2 quarterbacks who have shown upside this season, who have something to play for. They're just too low owned for me.
All right. I like it. Nix and Stroud going with the quarterbacks that still have a need to win these games. They're certainly going to be going all out. BobbyWow, how about you? What do you think? Give me the tournament winner here.
I really like the Stroud call. He's one of mine as well. I think he's really interesting here. And one of the things I love the most is you pair him up with Nico, you pair him up with Schultz, and you move on. And that's kind of been the MO. I know he hit Higgins last week for a big game, but that's kind of like the easy peasy, stack him up. You know what to do. He either flops or he doesn't. The other guy that I do have some interest in here, you mentioned him, is JJ McCarthy. And look, I am the furthest thing from a JJ McCarthy believer on planet Earth. However, the kid, he's got some running chops. He'll be up against the Packers' second and third stringers. And my favorite part is Justin Jefferson is insanely cheap. Rightfully so, right? He's been awful all season.
Yeah.
But man, give me a low-owned JJ stack week 18 for all the monies. I think that's really intriguing, again, especially at home against the Packers' second and third stringers.
Love that.
Oh, when I was writing up my note on Justin Jefferson, I was like, man, this guy's been bad. But maybe the salary has come down finally enough that like it's kind of matching. It finally is matching like this year's production. I think Justin Jefferson averaged like 10.9 fantasy points per game this year, which is, he's in the right zone. That's like a 5K or 4.8K wide receiver. Actually, if you look at it on the DraftKings board, it's more predominant. But 11.8, he's finally in the right zone with Jacoby Myers and Johnston is higher than that. Even Brian Thomas Jr. is not that far off from there. Debo has been there and he's at 5K. So he's kind of like still not actually perfectly priced, but he's much closer to priced appropriately to what he's been doing this year. So if he does have a pop game where all of a sudden he just has a really good game, great.
Man, I feel like we haven't seen a receiver drop off like this in so long.
I think it's the quarterback.
People forget it started last year too with Darnold. People forget like he wasn't the same JJ last season. It wasn't this bad.
He was good though.
I hear the quarterback thing, but remember like DeAndre Hopkins would still ball out of whoever his quarterback was. I don't know.
It's true.
Yeah. But what about Brian Thomas Jr.? We've seen something similar there, and that team's not doing badly. So I mean, weird shit happens in the NFL. Trey Lance going to start for the Chargers. Running quarterback, got the legs. Tough matchup.
At Denver, no, thank you.
Very tough. Some folks in the chat mentioned Tanner McKee, said he had a good game filling in for the starters once in the past.
He's interesting to me, but he's a pocket passer. He is a traditional. He's going to sling it from the pocket, and that could be good enough against Washington, who's a really bad defensive team. But I wish he had some rushing appeal. Yeah,
not a spot that I'm going to get super excited about. I like the McCarthy call against the Packers backups. I think for many reasons also McCarthy needs to play this game out and show that he wants to knock the stank off of the season a little bit. He's done that a little, I'm going to give him credit. He's knocked a lot of the stank off in the last few weeks of the season, but I think that team should be motivated to finish strong. So I like that call quite a bit. I think Kirk Cousins is mildly playable here against the Saints. At 2% owned?
Yeah.
With Pitts?
You got to watch his receivers, though. Like, everyone on that team is questionable. Pitts questionable, London questionable, Mooney questionable or doubtful.
That's the downside. Is there's all these veterans. But if that all happens, you got to start to watch out for Bijan as well. If all the veterans start, not going to play, is there a mild chance that the Falcons, halfway through this game, are like, fuck it, throw in the backups, we don't care? Because Bijan is the highest owned running back right now.
I don't think so. Because here's what, they could end up in first place in a division for a three-way tie, and now all of a sudden the narrative is different next season, right? If the Bucs win and the Falcons win, that's a three-way tie for first place. I know the Falcons aren't going to the playoffs, but that's at least a paper argument, I think, for your staff and your players into the next season.
That's fair.
All right. Victory. I hear you.
I'll allow it.
Cousins' last game, maybe too.
Which one?
Kirk Cousins' last game, potentially.
Yeah. I don't see why it would be his last game.
I mean, I don't see him starting anywhere next year.
He's still going to be on the Falcons next year. They paid him a lot of money,
though, right?
Oh yeah, they paid him a lot of money. They're still stuck with that contract. He's not going anywhere. And if I'm the Falcons, I mean, there's a real question of who I want to start next year. Like, are we really saying, hey, Penix has earned something?
I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think
at least lights a fire under Penix to work is even harder, I guess. Joe Burrow to me is the only other guy with some whisper appeal, just because we've already heard the Bengals talk at length about how they're going to play the starters. You know, Joe Burrow has quenched every single rumor about him kind of coming out flat in the press conference and all that. Like, he's had 2 of the best games of the season. And this Bengals team plays really good football with Joey B under center. I think they're 5-2. So it wouldn't shock me to see Burrow to Chase and Higgins kind of, elevate toward the top here, but not a sexy play by any means.
Yeah. So the names I'm going to avoid, I'm going to avoid, like, I'm probably going to avoid Josh Allen. Definitely avoiding Josh Allen anyway, because nothing to play for. And I'm worried about Matthew Stafford not playing out this game. I'm worried about that. So I'm going to probably avoid the Rams, as I said before. But yeah, I think even, like I said, Cousins a little bit, Jared Goff maybe a little bit there, and even Dak Prescott against the Giants. Sometimes the Cowboys just like to stick it to the Giants, by the way. There was a game a couple of years ago where I think Dallas beat the Giants something like 59-3. Like, they were just pouring it on. It was the fourth quarter, 3 minutes left, and Dak is still throwing 40-yard touchdowns to CeeDee Lamb in that game. Remember that? Like, it was just like, dude, it's the fourth quarter, and they're launching bombs 40 yards down the field. What the hell's going on here, right? I loved it. I mean, if you're along those players, you love it. Like, thank you for this. But yeah, we'll get into that. All right, let's shift gears. Talking about the running back position, NFL Week 18 main slate. Bijan, Gibbs, Etienne, Breece Hall. No. Wait. Let me sort by ownership. Breece Hall 13%.
It's been that way. We've every week we've said no, please don't do that. And he hasn't made us pay yet.
How many times do people have to go through this, man?
Do I say the same thing every week? Like, is this just deja? Breece Hall? What the fuck is he doing there? And then I always think it's wrong.
It's him and Kenny Walker soaking up ownership in that mid-range. Luckily, Kenny plays on Saturday, but yeah, same story.
Yeah, normally it's the hipster bros pushing Kenny Walker up to 15-18%, but here Breece Hall is there. Ashton Jeanty coming off the dud last week, getting some ownership. Couple spots I like. RJ Harvey, why not? Against the backups, right? Tyrone Tracy, yes. Did he fail us last week? Yes, but not for lack of usage. It just didn't work out. He got the usage. It was there. Woody Marks, 19 carries last week. Didn't do anything. Hasn't done anything all year, but yet the usage is there. It could happen this week. He got a lot of carries, BobbyWow.
No, I know. Just funny because I keep wanting to play him and he keeps stinking.
I mean, he's only got this last game to do it. There's not that many games left, right, in the playoffs. But you never know when it's coming. Chase Brown has been really good for quite a few weeks in a row. No Q tag. I like that. Swift, sure. Look at Trevion Henderson, 3% owned.
That's the one. I love Trevion this week.
I love that. But
he had the most touches last week too. Like, he outsnapped Ramondre, or had more rushing attempts than Ramondre, more than double. It was really just a weird flip where Ramondre saw most of the targets, which isn't what typically happens, but I'm not going to buy into that too much.
Just random variance. Guys, variance happens during a game.
I don't think Bobby agrees.
No. I was going to ask you guys to sell me on Trevion Henderson. And don't just say last week Ramondre had the touchdowns. I need you to sell me on Trevion.
Trevion Henderson, he's the explosive player in their offense. That's why I bet on it when he's low owned. That's honestly it. It's just how explosive he is.
BobbyWow, check this out. So last week, if you didn't know what the fantasy score was, but we're just like, hey, who am I going to use? Trevion Henderson and Ramondre got equal snap counts. But Trevion saw 52% of the carries versus just 22% of the carries for Ramondre.
Now, did the bulk of that come in the second half when the Patriots were up 90-0 on the Jets? Did they start handing it off to Trev quite a bit?
It was all throughout the game, evenly split. There was not. But what was weirdly happening in that game was just by this 20% target share, Drake May didn't throw the ball that many times. He
didn't. You're right about
targets.
That's true too.
Yeah, this was just 4 targets. And it just was like kind of like the luck of the draw that Stevenson got the 4 checkdowns and took 1 or 2 of them to the house. That's what happened. But what I'm saying is that's just noise. That has nothing to do with, like, if you watch that game, there was no reason that Stevenson outperformed Trevion Henderson. That being said, it's not like Henderson got a lot more work either. He got a little more work. He certainly carried the ball more, and he did great. He had 80 yards on like 20 carries and averaged 4.2 yards. But the problem is when you don't take one to the house and you don't catch a couple of passes, you just put up an 8 when you run for 82 yards. Like, big shit, right?
And that's kind of my concern, right? It's not that Ramondre is like the guy and he's going to take all the tutties. It's just that when both are healthy, they seem to enter into this weird, ugly at times split. Now, that being said, 3% ownership, Josiah, you got a really good point there. I like that angle a lot.
Yeah. You know, last week, if you played 3% owned Charbonnet in a similar role, you won the slate and you won all the money. So why not just take your shot on a 3% owned guy? Totally agree. There are going to be running backs that emerge on this slate that are like these backup types, that like a Jaden Blue style guy or something like that. Do we know of anything like that as of right now?
I think Blue's the big one, right? We already saw Malik Davis out. Javante's questionable. He feels like a guy that might sit. Of all the starters in this game, I think he's the most likely. So we got to pay attention to that. But if he does, I think Blue is one of the best plays on the slate.
It could be if they start Blue, but we haven't seen that. Ivan Drago says Tanks Bigsby for the Eagles, maybe, right? I'd love to hear him named the starter. They have another dude on that team, Will Shipley. I don't know.
Who was the Week 18 hero last year? Remember Will Shipley had that big run?
Yeah. G-Funk says Aaron Jones may sit out for Jordan Mason. Is that
That's interesting.
Oh, he is out. All right, so that's already official. I feel like they just sat him because this is one of those veteran, like, we're not going to force Aaron Jones to play in the last week, right? So I think this was that.
But Jones against the Packers, still kind of surprising. Like, that's his crew. In any case, he's out.
So you got Mason, who hasn't really done anything all year, but now you get, okay. How about that? Catch me.
And just for kicks, let's click on Tyson Chandler because he got the call up last week. Is he doing anything? Because Mason.
Yeah, not a fun click.
I don't know about this guy,
nope.
Right? Oh, 7 carries. So he did get some work.
And he's usually more of a pass catching back too. But yeah, again, Aaron Jones out. That's significant.
Javonte out?
Officially?
Is that official? Another veteran? Oh yeah. All right. So there it is. So now it's tough. We're doing the show on Friday afternoon. You guys are watching this live, and like some of this stuff is just coming out now. By I'm sure by Saturday afternoon we'll have a little bit more of a grip here. And what I think is going to emerge are potential like bargains at, for example, and low-owned bargains at the running back position that we can really jump on board with and kind of get off the extreme chalk that is kind of setting up right now at the top of this list. Like, everybody's saying Blue is rule. I don't see a projection on Blue, for example.
I mean, he's going to get some run. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Jalen Blue is going to get some run here. And then the other guy that's being activated off IR, I'm blanking on his name. Of course, Luke Key could see a little bit of extra run as well.
Yeah, but he's not going to
Malfa or Mafa or something like that.
He's been on IR all year. I'm not going to worry about that. You're talking about that dude on IR all year?
Look, the Cowboys leapfrogged Blue a couple times already this season unexpectedly. So it wouldn't be shocking. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Low key, these guys suck. I think that's the problem. But it is week 18.
You know what? Jaden Blue came into the NFL with some hype.
He did, and then all of a sudden Malik Davis out of nowhere was in, and he was a healthy scratch.
Yeah, Blue never locked the job down. He's probably not very good, but who cares? It's the Giants.
It's week 18, yeah.
It's the Giants. The Cowboys' other starters are probably playing, which is a benefit to Blue.
Yeah. Hunter Lupke gets the fullback, just gets the start.
I'm willing to tip if Hunter Lupke beats me week 18, I'm okay tipping my cap and saying we'll get him next time.
Yeah, and everybody's coming to the correct conclusion, Turd and Long as well. Maybe this is without dominant running backs, maybe we could just count on Ferguson, Lamb, and Pickens to get Pickens,
especially contract situation up in the air. I don't know.
He's done enough to prove it, though. He doesn't need a week 18 splash. I think the honest answer is just don't play them.
Yeah, Pickens is getting paid. Dude, they're talking about Alec Pierce getting a $15 million contract this year. How much money? Alec Pierce is like a crapola version of George Pickens. How much money is Pickens going to get?
They don't even belong in the same sentence.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
The deep ball guy, like Pierce could get 15. What's Pickens going to get? 35?
Yeah. He's a WR1 for sure.
Yeah, he's getting paid. I wish I had the Just Got Paid Friday night video. You can't play that. You can't play it on YouTube. They give you the strike right away, but it's playing in my head. Just got paid Friday night. Party jumping. Getting right. Booty shaking all around.
Oh my. Wow, we're getting the full version.
Yeah. What do you think's going on in George Pickens' house over the summer? He's just that on a loop. Some of these guys get paid and then they start to suck. You ever see that? Like a guy just gets paid and they're just like, thanks. And that's it.
You see it a lot on defense.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, running back. Let's get a little serious here. Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Travis Etienne, stud. Can you guys give me any reason why I should be in love with or not in love with any of those three?
I think they're the most solid options on the slate.
Yeah, all three. I'm not trying to fade any of them. I like all three.
Yeah.
I feel like the matchups are pretty similar to. I mean, you can make an argument that Travis Etienne has something to play for. Like the Jags are trying to win. Titans have been extra bad overall, so maybe lean towards him. And he's the lowest owned, so it always helps me a bit. But I like all these guys.
Yeah, I mean, Etienne's been great as of late. They're not really even splitting the touches anymore, and it's a must-win. Great. Jahmyr Gibbs, for all the reasons. When has Jahmyr Gibbs not gone crazy after a dud game? That's like almost automatic with him, the stud off a dud narrative. And Bijan, as long as they play the full game with Bijan, I think he's the best running back. He certainly has the highest projection on the props and main. So these guys are all great. We love them all. Agree?
Yeah.
So next group here, just curious to like who you guys are looking at in like the secondary group. You have RJ Harvey. So RJ Harvey popped a little bit for me as a guy who is also part of a must-win team and going up against a tanking opponent who's resting guys. Why not RJ Harvey?
Why not? But also, man, he's at the tippy top of what I want to pay for RJ Harvey, given that Sean Payton offense.
Yeah. And I would say his prop projection is terrible relative to other people in that price range. So like RJ Harvey, he's got a 10. Travis, how is this even so low? Why is it so shit? This almost seems wrong, like a wrong number compared to Travis Etienne, who's at 16. So much less good.
The thing about Harvey is, to me, he's a much better option on DraftKings. That he has been a PPR machine out of the backfield for Denver. So the targets alone kind of drag him into the conversation for me even more than anything else. But he's getting most of the snaps, no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's it. It's just a target and usage play.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of that, and the matchup again shouldn't be terrible against a Chargers team that isn't trying too hard, so that helps. But you're right, the projection is a little weird.
I actually have to check this. This does not look right to me. There's no way that that's what that is. I want to go look at the research station and see if like it's missing a receptions prop or something, because that number seems too low. Maybe it's right, but it seems too low to me. And certainly this is the highest price we've seen RJ Harvey all season, and I don't like that.
It's kind of crazy. Like, you're paying the same price for him or ETN to me. That's like the distinguisher for me. At the same ownership almost.
Yeah. Some other possibilities here. And then it gets really gross. So it gets really, really ugly. But I think other names that kind of made my sheet anyway. Tyrone Tracy, again, I think he's more likely to catch more passes without Wan'Dale there. I know everybody thinks it's stupid to play Tyrone, but it's not just about the song.
No.
Fine play.
It's stupid to make a compelling case for him as like the sole pass catcher, I think, with Dart. Definitely not stupid to advocate for playing Tyrone as a standalone play. It's not even stupid to advocate for the pair, but man, I like him as a standalone. He's super cheap and he's getting all the reps. Why not?
Most of them. Yeah. I mean, they threw it to Singletary a few times last week. And again, that was a little bit of variance that happened last week, but Tyrone got plenty of looks last week. Woody Marks coming up. Woody Marks is basically locked down the role of the lead back for the Texans.
Yeah.
Chubb got one carry last week. Like, he's not in the
rightfully
game.
So. It's about time they realize this is the way they should be doing it.
They actually, that other dude, Jawar, got in the game as the backup at this point. They've kind of shelved. Nick Chubb has just been, talk about molasses footed. What the heck is he doing in the game, right? Chase Brown had a nice little run. DeAndre Swift has been really good, even in a split with Monungai. You got to give it to the Bears just in general. That offense, they are trying to run the ball more than anything else. And then we get in the ne'er-do-well group here. And so I'm curious for you guys, here in this low-owned, sub kind of 7% owned section, you got, I mean, again, Kyron, whatever, but like James Cook, probably not going to play, right? Ray Davis getting some looks here. I guess you'd include, we'd include Jonathan Taylor in the mix. Dylan Sampson, Bigsby, is he the backup? Trevion Henderson, I think we already like him, and so on and so forth. Is there anybody down here? And I'll go to you, Josiah. We already said, hey, Trevion Henderson, 3% on. Fuck yeah, I'm playing some of that, right? He's still awesome. His team's gonna smash. Team is, like a 15-point favorite. There's no reason they shouldn't just sit back and hand it to Trevion and just beat Miami this way. Yeah. So I like that play. Anything else popping for you down here, Josiah?
Man, it's so gross. So gross. As you name more names, I'm just like, ugh.
And it doesn't get better. It doesn't get better as you're going through. Dylan Sampson.
And you can talk me into having some exposure to a lot of these guys. Like, I'm not trying to like X out any names at the running back position this week, but there's one other guy beside Henderson that I'm forcing some exposure to, and that's going to be a guy I might not have played at all this season, Tony Pollard. I'm not a big incentive guy, but he does have an incentive this week to get like 50 some yards. And he is the type of vet that's not really good, doesn't get a lot of attention, that these incentives usually does kind of point towards being a bit of a better spot. So Tony Pollard is someone I'll have some exposure to in this range, and he's cheap and low owned again. So those are just two guys I like in this range, Henderson and Pollard. And then I'll have a mixture of the rest of them because no one else stood out.
Alimony says Krosky Merritt is a sneaky play.
It's sneaky, that's true.
Coming off the big one last week.
Yeah, I mean, he's another just like solid backup running back. It's hard to like crap on those guys too much this week.
Alimony.
Krosky may be variance argument too, or maybe not. He had 11 carries last week, but ended up scoring 2 touchdowns. He hit 100 yards on the dot.
Big game last week for Krosky Merritt. Chris Rodriguez back though. He's fine.
I thought Rodriguez played last week too. Did he not?
He did. Let me see here. Let's get a look.
Maybe not.
Let's get a look. Hold up. Just got paid. It's Friday. Sorry, just
You're really singing that all night now.
Yeah, once that gets in your head, it doesn't leave.
No,
I'm looking for Washington against the Eagles. Here we go.
He did.
Okay. Krosky Merritt. No, C-Rod was out last week.
He didn't play.
Okay.
Yeah, he was just out. And Krosky Merritt got all the rushing game work, did not get a reception, and they brought McNuckles in for the
tougher sell for me this week.
Yeah, I'm not that excited. The Jaden Blue thing is much more exciting for me than that. Like I think let's call it generic Cowboys running back is a very interesting play this week.
Yep.
That's where I want to go. I want to go with Cowboys starting running back. If that's Jaden Blue, all right, cool. Why wouldn't it be Jaden Blue?
People talking about Turpin a little bit too, which could be the case.
Yeah, they might give him some carries, but they're not going to run him as the running back for a full game. No, I maybe it's Jaden Blue. Maybe that's our salary saver special of the week. So we have the backup running back situation. We have Jaden Blue. We have Eagles starter, who we don't know who that's going to be, and we might just not know. Are there any other ones from some of these teams that we should be considering?
I think Ray Davis is worth some looks.
Ray Davis, running back, Buffalo.
Again, I'm operating under the assumption here that the Bills are resting all their starters, and I think Ty Johnson you almost have to consider him a starter, right? Because he is in third downs, passing situations. So I think Ray Davis, if the starters don't play, I think he sees the bulk of the run against a Jets defense that gets just obliterated by running backs.
All right, yeah, write that name in. Now let's be sure of it. But
I don't think we will be, and that means we'll get him at 2% ownership. But even if not, he's a guy that I'm looking to get 10 to 15% exposure to. Obviously, more if we get confirmation.
Yeah. And that was Ty, or was it Ray?
That's Ray Davis. Ray Davis.
I mean, it's a theory, right? That Ty Johnson is more of like the guy that they'd want to protect, and with Ray Davis more being the straight backup for Cook, with Ty Johnson playing his own little role. And yeah, I mean, Drew Shady, I am worried about Shipley, and that is the concern with that situation. Like, is it Bigsby? Is it Shipley? I'm not really sure. I definitely don't want half of it. Is Cook going for the rushing title? Yes. Maybe they play Cook.
Yeah, that's a part of it too. I think it's a little weird because isn't Derrick Henry close to, or am I off?
No, I think Jonathan Taylor might be. I would think it would be Jonathan Taylor that is the guy that's close with that.
So that's that game's the early game, so he'll know how much he needs to get. So maybe he does play a little bit, just depending on how JT does.
How many yards behind Taylor is or ahead of Taylor is Cook right now?
Let's see.
And I think all that is secondary to playoff health. Like that type of stat.
Yeah. Do we really think that the Bills want to risk kind of one of their most elite players if Josh Allen's not in the game? I say no.
James Cook is
the spread
ahead
is what
right
tells
now.
me that. The spread is what tells me that.
Mm-hmm. James Cook has 1,606 yards. Jonathan Taylor has 1,559.
So it's about a 50-yard difference. Okay, so yeah, and even if they play Cook let him run for 50 or 60, that's not going to pay off his salary anyway. I don't think he's paying off his salary.
Well, definitely not that. He's definitely not paying off the salary. I think he's an easy fade. I just really think Ray Davis has some intrigue here, assuming Cook doesn't play more than a possession or two. And the spread, man, you would think if all these starters were playing for Buffalo, it'd be like a 15+ point spread. Right now, it's at 7.
Yeah, well, this line is a Buffalo backups line.
I'm not saying to smash play or obvious, but as somewhat tournament contrarian kind of pivot, I really am intrigued by Ray Davis.
BobbyWow, I think you're right, and I think you have to go into it. Understand again, they're telling you that they're going to play the backups here. Buffalo's team total would be 29 with Josh Allen playing the full game against the Jets, even 30 or 31. So this is a backups line right here. All right, I like it. So we have a couple of, we have our so just to recap the running back position. Bijan, spectacular. Gibbs, very good. Travis Etienne, excellent, right? 3 really good kind of chalk cash plays. You scroll your way down, maybe Ashton Janty in that one, just because why not? We can mess around with little Tyrone, Woody Marks. Maybe RJ Harvey's a little too expensive for what we think he can do. Brown and Swift, okay, maybe just a touch. And then rolling in some backups here with Ray Davis, maybe quote and generic Cowboys starting running back, and maybe even generic Eagles starting running back. And then I would throw in as well possibly like a Dylan Sampson type in that game against the Bengals, just because it's the worst run defense, the Bengals, and Cleveland will play to win that game. They have no reason not to. And they're going to be all out to ball out, because if you're Cleveland, there's no difference between a week 1 game and a week 18 game. You're out of it the whole time.
Yep. One other name I'll throw out there too, just for kicks. I haven't played him all season. I've been the Debbie Downer on him, but David Montgomery against the Bears is always intriguing to me. And we know this game is projected to shoot out a little bit. Wouldn't shock me to see in Monty's most likely last game as a Lion, if they don't, it wouldn't shock me if you got a couple goal line carries and smashed a couple in against his old team.
Revenge narrative. And actually, I'm going to throw back out there. That's right. On the Vikings, we got Jordan Mason maybe getting the full blast start, maybe. And we've also got where was I? I said Jordan Mason.
Yeah, Jordan Mason's really intriguing. Yep.
Yeah, Jaden Blue I already saw. Yeah. All right. That was it. Yeah. How important are defenses? Maybe the most important week of the year for defense. So we'll get into that in a second, because there are some very clear-cut defenses to pay up for and just play them this week. And mainly it's the Vikings. But there are a couple others. So it's not just the Vikings, but probably mostly the Vikings.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I love the Vikings. Yes.
Yeah. There's a couple others, but the Vikings, right? Yeah. There's a couple others. Play the Vikings. All right. Wide receiver position NFL week 18. I think this is going to be where the money's made and lost. I kind of feel really good about the running backs. We've got a nice group of studs that I feel like they're all going to do well. There's some pay down options. They all look good. We know some quarterbacks that are probably going to have really good games. Can I pick easily the highest scoring one? No, but I feel like, if you play Trevor Lawrence, you're probably going to get a pretty decent score, or, and the guys we talked about. Wide receiver's tricky. This is going to be a really, really important part of the whole thing. Right now, Puka Nacua, who I actually don't even think will play, is the top owned guy. Now, I'm not saying he's not going to play. Again, for those tuning in just now, if the 49ers win on Saturday, the Rams will have nothing to play for. But by the time that happens, I'm not convinced that the word will get out enough to pull him. And I actually don't think that McVay will actually let you know that either. We're going to plan it to win. We're going to give it some coach speak. And then 1 quarter in, it's going to be like, what's going on over there? Right? So be careful. I'm not saying he's not going to play. Puka's awesome. Love Puka. Be careful. Jamar Chase. Great. Michael Wilson. I like it, right? I kind of like that one. Like Michael Wilson. Marvin Harrison Jr. He's not my son. He's not playing.
You sound like the guy playing Sean Connery on Celebrity Jeopardy there. I don't even know what
that's my best Charles Dance as Tywin impersonation. He's not my son. He might be Scottish. I don't know where Charles Dance is from. That dude, the actor. He could be Welsh. I learned of a whole new place in England, in Great Britain yesterday, in the South. I was watching some documentary about something or another, and I learned about like a whole other like place in Great Britain that I can't even remember what it's called. Guys who, where's Ashley? Like, What's in the bottom left corner of Great Britain? What's the name of that like little province? I can't remember why I was watching this thing, but oh no, it's because my wife is watching Poldark, and it takes place in this random part of Great Britain where it's not Welsh or Scottish, it's some other type of people.
Mm-hmm.
And they have their own little language, like Cockney. Maybe it's like something, I don't know where it's. Where does Poldark take place? South Wales? No, not Wales. I'm telling you, some other thing that I know.
Cardiff.
What's it called?
Cardiff.
I don't know. It had its own, like, they have their own, almost like a language or a way of speaking. Canterbury. I don't fucking know. Every place in Great Britain sounds like it's going to be like lovely and like just like magical, like almost like the Shire. And then you go there and everyone's like, what the fuck do you want? And they're all like, they're all thugs and soccer hooligans. Like the name of the place never matches like the people there.
Thugs and soccer hooligans.
They're like soccer hooligans. Oh, you motherfucker. They're like, how like, in UK, they're all rowdy and they get into fights all the time.
Man.
But
we have a lot of Brits who watch this.
Yeah.
At least like 5 to 10. They're going to be pissed at you.
No, they love it, man. They're like, hell yeah, motherfucker. They love that. Right. They want this. They're like, he noticed. They love it. They're not mad.
They're about it.
Yeah, there's no teeth. There's people just beating the crap out of each other. Yeah, it's like Peaky Blinders going on. They're out of control in Great Britain. Oh,
you sure this is South Jersey?
He knows. I didn't take my Ritalin before this.
Oh, man.
I apologize. My wife's watching Poldark, and I'm like, where is this taking place? It's such a lovely scenery. She's like, I don't remember. Cornwallis? I can't remember what it was its own little place. So anyway, Puka, Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra. But I'm kind of liking CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens here a little bit as well. One of those two. What I wrote in my notes this week was like, one of Lamb or Pickens is going to smash in this slate. Like you can almost just kind of, now without the running backs on that team, one of Lamb or Pickens is going to smash tomorrow on Sunday, guys. What do you think about this idea of just playing one of them in all your lineups?
Feels unnecessary.
Yeah. Not my favorite thing.
But maybe. Yeah, I mean, there's many paths that lead to someone smashing.
Yeah. Maybe it's genius.
I mean, I think I still prefer Amon-Ra on that range.
Amon-Ra is going to be way underowned. He's going to be way underowned, I'm telling you.
Why did these guys not have props yet?
I think it's just the week 18 question marks of who's actually going to play, who won't. Amon-Ra's a bit of a weird one, though.
Yeah. Somebody did bring up Weezy last week. I think I don't remember who it was, but I want to.
That's right. You did.
I want to take credit for my Jefferson's joke that I made off of the Weezy reference. That made everybody remember the Weezy reference.
Boom.
So take a little credit for that. I don't know, guys. Top end of the range here, Josiah.
Are we including Nico or no?
Oh yeah, Nico. Go take me all the way down to Michael Wilson and up. Right, give me two of your favorites here in this group because there's a lot of names. I like them all. They all look good. Maybe not Drake London. He hasn't been very good.
Yeah, I'm with you on probably fading Puka, but also have a little bit of exposure. I'm not going to X him out. Jamar Chase, not my favorite. Amon-Ra, I'm highlighting. I want to make sure I'm over the field on him. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, I'll be probably just close to field weight. Like I said, that game I just don't love. Especially if the Giants aren't able to keep it close. I struggle to see what's kind of moving things. But if Dart's doing his thing, then yeah, for sure, I get it. But Nico Collins, he's going to be the guy I'm significantly over the field on. I'm playing Stroud, so that kind of makes sense. But also just cheap. Had a bit of a down week last week. More than happy to go back there in a pretty soft matchup. And then I like the Lions-Bears game, so J-Mo is going to pop for me naturally with that too.
Yeah, I got you. I don't know about man. J-Mo and Amon-Ra are a little too close together here, guys. It's
Amon-Ra is underpriced and yet still underowned. I fully agree.
Yeah. What's going on there? BobbyWow, is it Amon-Ra in this group that is the standout? He's got a Q tag, and there may be this thought that with the Q tag, maybe they'll rest the veteran.
I just can't see him resting. I mean, I follow a little bit of like his podcast stuff, and all he's done all season is talk about Ben Johnson leaving and how he's gonna beat down Caleb, like obviously in a joking way, but also there's a lot of truth to that too. I just can't see Amon-Ra sitting here, and if he does play, and I think he will, the Bears have no one to stop him. Like, he's going to smash. So way underpriced. He should be 8,500 up there with Jamar Chase. He's not. And he's coming in under-owned still, so I will be well over on Amon-Ra. And I like Nico calls too as well.
Yeah, I like it. I like the calls as well. And I like what you guys are going, where you guys are going with it. I think we can safely kind of probably be leery of Drake London. He has not been good since his return from injury, and I just assume that he's still not fully healthy, or else why has he been as terrible as he's been? I mean, so outside of like super GPP only, I don't trust him. And part of the problem with Lamb and Pickens is that there's two of them, and you never quite know which one is going to kind of do the smashing. So that kind of takes them a little bit less out of my like cash game consideration into more like, hey, I love him. I think one is going to smash. I don't really have any way of knowing which one. So finally, give me some Amon-Ra there. If that Q tag goes away as well, I'll be happy. I'll be happy to play that. Let's go to the second group here. There's some. This is a lot more, I think, where we're going to be kind of setting up shop. Second zone here. Michael Wilson, top of the food chain for the second zone. Michael Wilson has absolutely smashed in games without Marvin Harrison Jr. All season long, so keep that in mind. After that, Steffi Diggs, coming off the strangulation accusations. You want to knock that stank off with a big performance.
Oh, geez.
Thank the team.
And it's coming.
The team's like, hey, we don't care who you strangle as long as you catch the ball and put it in the end zone. As long as you're not murdering people, we're gonna get your back. But if it gets into murder, at that point, we're gonna have a conversation and see what we're gonna do. Because they've dealt with that before. They've had to deal with
the first time, yeah.
The Patriots have dealt with the whole gambit of misbehavior. And you see, I think they did the right thing when they found out that one of their guys was murdering people. They suspended him, which is what a team should do.
True.
Yeah. So, Bob Kraft, good stuff. I'm a fan of the Patriots owner. I like that guy. I do. I like that guy. Not for the Gillette thing, but to find out that like a billionaire still goes to those massage parlors.
I knew that was going to be why.
God bless it.
It honestly made me feel that we're all the same humans, and we're all just human. And we all get up and put on our pants one leg at a time. It's not that much difference. So if you're out there and you don't have billions of dollars, just know that like that's not the end all be all of life. Life, there's so much more to it than having lots of money. And we're all the same in the end. I love you all. All right, back to the breakdown.
That was your 2026 announcement. That was great.
Yeah. It made me feel we're all the same.
Real one.
Yeah. I'm not going to get myself into trouble by continuing on this topic. So we'll continue to talk about the plays here. But I like Stephon Diggs this week. Why not? Stephon Diggs is especially better. We liked him last week because Booty was out and all these other guys were out. And as long as the Patriots only have a couple of names to throw to, I think we can rely on it. But man, that is a spread the football around kind of team. It is dangerous to rely on any of their players when they're all out. So as long as Booty's out and Mac Hollins is done for the season, so we know he's not coming back. I like that. I like the tighter target pool for these guys. T. Higgins, great at 3%. Everybody always wants to play Jamar Chase. Whenever T. Higgins goes sub 5% owned, that's when he puts up the big numbers. BobbyWow, T. Higgins?
Yeah, I think contrarian pivot. I like it. I mean, he's let me down. I've done this a couple times now and let me down a couple times, but he's good for 2 or 3 times a year. I'll outscore Jamar Chase and blow up the slate. Why not on Sunday?
There we go. Cortland Sutton is great. So I mean, like McConkey, no, right? So we got some big no's here. No. McLaurin, no. Waddle, no.
There was JJ though. There was Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, JJ.
Yeah.
Among that no group with a massive prop. I don't know if it's an official.
That's a regular projection. We still don't have a prop for him. Yeah, McConkey's not even playing. Get out of here, McConkey. He's not going to play. But yeah, did I uncheck Jefferson?
There goes JJ.
That's a disaster. Why not get any Justin Jefferson in my run? Oh, I unchecked him during turn. I forgot to bring it. But this is my actual domination station. Like if I uncheck someone by mistake, I might forget to bring him back. All right. So yeah, I like Justin Jefferson there. I'm fine with that. Why not? You would have to think that Justin Jefferson and JJ are like, dude, we got to have one good game together, just like for the offseason. Justin Jefferson over to JJ's house, like during the week, dude, throw me a couple balls. Let's practice.
They better do something.
Yeah.
It's the 1,000-yard season on the line, man. 53 yards away.
I'm fine with it. But what I wrote was he's been crap all year, though. Let's not forget. Like he hasn't had a single game where you're like, oh, damn it, I wish I played Justin Jefferson. Not once. Actually, the 100%. Games that he did that were the couple of games where the other quarterback came in. That was it. Like I don't remember who was the backup. Like who was the
Brosmer?
Not Brosmer, the other dude. Like who was the good backup for this team for a couple games before Brosmer?
Wentz?
Yeah, Carson Wentz. Yeah, when Carson Wentz, the good one, right? It was only with Carson Wentz that he had a couple of good games.
And I want to be clear, I haven't played JJ a single week this season. Both JJs. I've been the biggest detractor of both those guys. So maybe it's scary that I want to play him this week.
No, I mean, the timing's perfect.
No, that's good timing. Like I would be concerned. But anyway, he's not my favorite play. Terry McLaurin backup, not into it. Right. Waddle, right? Gross. Unfriend you. I just unfriended Waddle. That's how gross that play is. No, you're out. I don't even Quinn Ewers. No, not happening. Jacoby Myers, he's almost a hipster bro play.
Why? Why do you say that?
Why is he always chalk? When was the last time Jacoby Myers did anything?
It's like they copy and pasted Las Vegas Jacoby into the Jaguars offense. Yeah. He's playing the same role.
I don't understand why this guy is always like propped up a little bit higher than he should be. He's
a great cash play. He's a great cash play.
That's what I keep hearing. I keep hearing about this great cash play, but the 8, 12, these were not good cash weeks. This was shit. All of them. Why is he a good cash play?
Because he's getting 10 targets, Kev. 10 targets a game at that price. Are you kidding me?
With a 30-point team total.
He does have a high team total. I'm not going to say to fade it.
Cash is all about paper play. It's a paper play. He's a great play on paper.
Yeah. If I came out here and shit all over Jacoby Myers, he's putting up a 30 tomorrow. As a matter of fact, you wish that I would do that. So I would give you the easiest lock button of the. I'm not going to give you that gift. I'm not. Because I know that's what would happen. All I'm saying is Parker Washington is also getting 10 targets, and somehow he tends to score more.
Well, he's been the better player for sure. And yeah, we're not talking about the millie. Targets never won the millie. That's certainly true. It's cash. Targets are the cash game approach.
Yeah.
When you're Jacoby Myers.
Parker
Washington, on the other hand, man's on a mission.
Yeah. He's just good.
Yeah. So I don't know. All I'm saying is like Jacoby Myers, fine, whatever. I'll tell you who I do love. Luke, unburdened by what has been, has become BobbyWow. Can you at least admit that 10 weeks ago, we had a conversation. I said, this guy is the best wide receiver on this team. And you were like, I know, but there's other good wide receivers, because you felt it was disparaging the other guys. But really, I was just disparaging Burden. I wasn't trying to disparage the other guy. I was trying to disparage Burden and said this guy's good, and I think he's the best guy.
And look how your words have lifted up.
Yeah.
No, I think no one would disagree. That guy, the ceiling is sky high for Burden, and Rome hasn't been healthy. He hasn't been healthy all season, and Luther stepped up in a big way. I think you're seeing it play out here. And we talked about it from like week 3 on. Remember, he started overtaking Alameda a little bit, and it was kind of like that was the charted path for Ben Johnson.
We were seeing it. We're like, man, when they start playing this guy, he's going to smash. We just need to see the usage, and he's going to smash. So
I can't imagine Rome plays. He did get a limited practice in. I hope they sit him. If he's out, Burden is a phenomenal play.
But don't forget about DJ.
Targets. And of course, DJ is a good play as well. But Burden with targets, him in space is a different animal. That's what God put him on the earth to make catches in space and then do the rest. So yeah, especially if Rome's out, ownership is 7%. What?
The ownership is crazy here. This is one of my favorite plays on this entire slate. So Luther Burden is one of my favorite plays on this whole slate.
I mean, I get it, but can we give DJ Moore some respect? Everyone's like, I'm tired of DJ Moore. He's had multiple 20-point games this season.
Yeah,
put some respect on that man's name.
Multiple 20-point games, and everyone acts like he's always bad. I don't know. I'm sick of it.
I don't know. I'm going to favor Burden over DJ Moore, man. This is not even close for me. I mean, DJ Moore almost accidentally has a big game where
that's not true. That's taking it too far.
He's I don't know.
I will say too, just a quick respect to Josiah. The 2 weeks he's made it a point to call out DJ.
Josiah
DJ
you have nailed it.
So like that as well.
Props to Josiah. You have nailed it, and you called him out. And I'm like, and every single time, I'm like DJ Moore, and then it's worked out when you've called him out. So absolute props on that. But I like Burden more. Like, to me, Burden is a safe. I'm just going to play him in most of my line. Like in my handcrafts, this guy is in the lineup.
Yeah, I get that.
I like the matchup. It's the Lions. They're at home. There's all these arrows pointing to a good play for Luther and Burden by what has been.
I was expecting the ownership gap to be much larger. If Burden was higher owned, I love the pivot to DJ. But man, if Burden's going to be 7% owned,
that's crazy, right? That's
wild.
Like way too low.
Against the Lions secondary, that's all banged up, hurt.
I'm going to uncheck Christian Watson. And I already love Parker Washington. Any interest in Brian Thomas Jr.?
Yes, because I'm playing Trevor Lawrence, but not really outside of that.
Just like a bonus name to stack with Lawrence if you want.
Yeah. There's not a lot of good down here. You look at that game log, he has not been great.
This team has Travis Hunter on it. Did they trade Brian Thomas Jr. in the offseason to a wide receiver desperate team? I think this is the lock button move for the Jaguars. They got to trade him.
To who? The Saskatchewan Arrowheads? Like who's gonna trade for BTJ?
People will. They're gonna think it was Trevor Lawrence and not Brian Thomas, and teams will take a shot on this guy.
But Travis was bad too. Like he wasn't good. He didn't show a lot. I don't know.
I think they will trade for him, and they can get a first rounder or some level of compensation to that effect. Yes.
I can tell you've been a Jets fan for a long time.
No, I some team will give up a massive pick for Brian Thomas Jr. The teams haven't given up on him the way that us fantasy football weirdos have. The teams don't play fantasy football. I'm telling you, somebody's going to pay big bucks.
No, I think you're right. I don't know about big bucks. He'll definitely generate some interest, though, for sure.
Yeah. They should trade him because he still has that high value, and the team clearly is not going to utilize him. PJ Washington, Parker, not PJ. PJ plays basketball.
NBA, yes.
Parker plays football. I prefer Parker. We love this game. We love Trevor Lawrence. Right?
They refuse to price Parker up. It just doesn't make sense.
I'm happy. I'm not going to complain about it.
I'll take it.
But yeah.
We're
Washington's
playing,
great.
We're playing Parker.
Yeah.
Right now, if you started your lineup with Luther Bird and Parker Washington and just kind of like started building off of that, I think that's a good start.
I agree.
Yeah, I'll take that. All right, let's keep scrolling down here. And we'll just kind of go through them all rather than like do the other way. Debo, no. Franklin.
Incentives. The only I don't like mentioning incentives either, Josiah, like you talked about earlier. Shakir has an incentive for one more touchdown. Not touching him. I do think they'll try and get him a touchdown, though. Debo is a little more intriguing to me. At 5K, I think he needs somewhere around 50 yards, 60 yards for a really big bonus. And Josh Johnson is slinging him the football. So, like, got a guy that throws the ball a bunch, and, Debo is going to be playing for that incentive against the Philly backups. Not the worst play.
Yeah, not usually my style of play on week 18, something like this, but all right. There's no reason for them not to play him. I think that's pretty like why wouldn't you play him? Troy Franklin, yeah. I think we could do really well here in the cheaper zone if we find some of these special plays. So let's just kind of get into pay down options. We already kind of talked about all the mids and all. What are some pay down options that are going to work? Like players are out. Who can we rely on down here for some scoring? Some people are going to mention Slayton with Wandale out. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I kind of like it.
Fine.
Yeah. Trey Tucker with, I don't know, Kenny Pickett against the tanking Chiefs team. I don't really like that. Are there any other? He got 6. I mean, Trey Tucker's okay.
Want to talk about your guy, Kevin Austin?
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Take me down to Kevin Austin. So it's not just Kevin Austin. Who with Olave? There's got to be a Mason Tipton. Who's the other guy?
It's Tipton.
Is Tipton playing?
I think so.
Is he? Let's see. Tipton. DS has him listed as out, but
no, maybe not.
He has a projection.
Yeah, here we go. Darius Cooper for the Eagles. Who the
Kevin
fuck
Austin's
is
been
that
smashing too. Like Kevin Austin, a big week last week again, I think. Yeah, Tipton on IR, so he's out.
He's not even playing. Now, I will warn about Kevin Austin. And my one warning is this is the same Falcons team that pseudo shut down Puka just last week with AJ Terrell. Now, I don't know who Kevin Austin is, but he's probably not the kind of wide receiver that's going to be able to beat elite cornerback play. And if they don't have anybody else, is AJ Terrell going to be on Kevin Austin, effectively ruining this value play?
There's a risk there. There's a risk.
I can't imagine Terrell shadows Kevin Austin, but
why not?
The Falcons have been a little bit better as a whole collective unit through the year. So,
here we go. Nathan Shepard's got it. Hodgins at 3,100 on the Giants.
He's in play. It feels like we're getting a little forcey with the Slayton Hodgins calls.
Is that forcey? I'm just looking for opportunities down here. And
prior to last week, when has Dart carried a pass catcher?
Week 11, when Hodgins got a nice, beautiful 10 on 5 of 6.
We're confident that was enough.
I'd be okay with 6 targets for Isaiah Hodgins.
Maybe.
Yeah, not awful. I will take some shots on Pettis, like I mentioned earlier. Not my favorite play, but he was involved. He had 7 fantasy points last week. So worth a shot here. All these cheapies, none of them feel great.
Yeah. Dante Pettis said, I've been waiting for 12, 15 years for this opportunity. Get me the football. If you're Dante Pettis, you're going to Tyler Shook and you're like, listen, I've been in this league longer than you've been alive. Throw me the football. This is my turn. I'm never going to get another chance. And if you're Tyler Shook, you're like, I feel you. I get this. And I will throw you the football. Sir. Dad.
Was he Lazarus at this point? Rose from the dead. He's here to play one more game.
Uncle. Literally, Tyler Shook calls Dante Pettis Unk.
He definitely does.
100%.
Once he turned 30.
100% he calls this man Uncle. Uncle Dante, I'm going to throw you the ball.
Dante he just turned 30.
I love that the Zoomers call anybody who's over 30 years old Uncle. Like it's an affectionate thing. If they call me Uncle, I'm like,
it's Unk, and it's definitely not affectionate.
It's not affectionate?
No.
It can be. It can be like,
no,
there's Unk over there in the corner doing his thing. There could be a little bit of love there.
Even the affectionate version is disparaging. It's
it's love.
I can't argue with that.
I think it's affectionate. I don't take it insulting. I think it's love.
Hey, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, so I'm not going to take that away from you.
I was watching Survivor the other day. They're calling Jeff Probst Uncle Jeff. I'm not even joking. They call him Uncle Jeff. I'm like, whoa.
Shameful.
It's affectionate. Jeez. They love Jeff.
No respect, man.
Yeah. Brutus is, Pappy. The young people, the Gen Zers call Brutus Pappy. Pappy.
You taking a shot on Jerry Jeudy again? One last chance at romance?
Hell no. Fuck no.
Watch Sanders go off this week. It would be just week 18. Shadir Sanders.
Against the Bengals, Jerry Jeudy, just to say, hey, I'm still here, and then go back into hibernation next season again.
No. We're not doing that. Tight end position. All right. Tight end position, ownership sort. Juwan Johnson, understandably, now going to be the highest owned guy. Correct. I'm not disagreeing with this at all. I actually love the tight end ownership here to the point where I don't even have something to add. Like Juwan, hell yeah. Can we play Trey McBride? Sure. Go right back to Michael Mayer? I think so. Loveland, BobbyWow, up there. Understandable. He's in my draft battle lineup.
Yeah.
Brenton Strange, sure. If I'm playing Trevor Lawrence, why not, right? Schultz, sure. If I'm playing CJ Stroud, why not? Hunter Henry against the Dolphins, just as likely as anybody to catch a touchdown. I don't like the price as much, but okay.
I prefer him to Diggs if I'm playing one of those Patriots starters.
There you go. He's a lot cheaper. I like Diggs also. See, you're going to have people who get weird with backup tight ends. Okay. Calcaterra with the backup quarterback. All right, fine.
You going to pay your respects to Travis Kelce in his last game? Are you going to
absolutely not? No respect. He's not even going to be at the game.
He's already on vacation.
Yeah, Taylor's literally booked a private jet for them to Bora Bora. Like, not even a place where normal humans go. It's like a private, only celebrities can get to these places. Like $100,000 night. How much money do you think Travis and Taylor are spending on their honeymoon per night?
Millions.
It's got to be $100K a night.
I think it's more. It has to be more than $100K.
More than that?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I will say this. It's comforting to know that we're all the same.
They're spending $100,000 a night. And Bob Kraft, who owns Gillette and the Patriots, is walking into a storefront.
That's on me.
That doesn't even have a real sign on the front. It's just a piece of cardboard, and somebody took a marker and wrote the word massages. It doesn't even have an official sign. It's just a cardboard in the window. Bob Kraft's like, ring the bell. We're all the same. No matter how much money they have. Oh, okay. Stretch it out a little bit here. I like I don't know that we need to go beyond Juwan Johnson at tight end, guys. Well,
I like the Vikings shout in the chat. Someone mentioned Oliver with Hawkinson out. JJ McCarthy playing. I don't hate that play. Olivier.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Frenchman.
Like, he's probably as chasey as I'm getting. I'm not going crazy on these backups. Although we do need to at least acknowledge, I think Mo Alley Cox caught a touchdown last week from Phil again.
Ever since you mentioned Mo Alley Cox, he's caught a touchdown every week since then.
Shows up all the time.
Yeah, he's caught like 3 touchdowns since then, which is crazy. The dude was unheard of, and then he like had multiple weeks with touchdowns.
Talk about Unk, man. Him and Phil. Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
real Unks.
Uncle Mo. The whole team calls him Uncle Mo. I think you stick with these guys. Juwan is great. Loveland, wonderful.
I do like Hunter Henry, along with like my May stacks, and even without May, this is just a spot Hunter Henry can definitely thrive in against Miami. A lot of slow linebackers there.
And I think Bobby, your call Schultz, fine as well. Sure, why not? I'm down. The only question mark is Kyle Pitts, 5,500, a little spendy. That's a little too much for me. A little too spendy for me.
Yeah, me too.
Is done for a bit.
Yeah, Juwan though feels like the cash lock of the century with Olave out. Juwan Johnson.
Yeah, look at his projection. It's so good. That's what I'm saying. Like the prop is so much better. His fantasy points per dollar projection is so much more aggressively better than everybody else that it's really, really hard to look another direction here. Even if I sort Chigakonkwo. What?
He's had a reemergence. And now they've been mostly like kind of busted plays, but he's been much better as of late.
Dude, this shouldn't be ignored.
It's the Jaguars defense, and they are, if they do have a weak link, it is against tight ends.
Hold on a second here.
Hasn't been awful.
Shaq
and Cam Ward have that connection.
I think last week was a busted play. Like that one catch was like 35 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Can't believe Taco's here, and he didn't comment on all my massage commentary, but this is what got him to make a comment. The Chica.
Yeah, Gunnar Helm out. That is significant.
Oh, that what's going on? Gunner's out. Okay. All right. Adding a name to the mix. Chigakonkwo. Because I was like, wait a second. What? Where did this? He's the highest fantasy points per dollar play? Should I trade Luther Burden for 2,000? No, you should trade a 27 first for Luther Burden.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if you're in Dynasty, I want you to take your late 2026 pick in this mediocre draft that's coming out. The best thing that you can get in the second half of this year's Dynasty draft is somebody like Luther Burden. Like that is your ultimate. And you won't know if he's Luther Burden. We already know that Luther Burden is Luther Burden. Trade your late pick, your late first for Luther Burden. Unburdened by what has been.
I'm telling you, Juwan Johnson stays at 20%. I'm going to have to be overweight. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
He's so chalky already.
He's the guy.
On Juwan.
He's going to get he's going to get 15 targets. He's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one wants to mention Taysom Hill this week.
Yeah, I'm afraid to say Taysom Hill too.
But maybe
you know what? We actually should consider Taysom Hill because they might use Juwan Johnson as a wide receiver or Taysom Hill as well. Basically, they might use him more as a pass catcher with everybody hurt.
That's getting cute. Yeah, that's getting a little too cute for me. But yeah, I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
I just answering this quick. I know Peter's asked this a bunch. I think Swift probably has the edge right now, and he's more catching more of the passes, and they're giving him some goal line carries too. So if I had to pick one, it's probably Swift.
One other tight end that's definitely getting cute for like your large field GPPs, but it's tournament tactics, so I don't feel crazy saying it. Dawson Knox, 3,600. I kind of like him better if Trubisky plays, just because Trubisky and tight ends has always been a thing I liked a little bit. And then Knox also does have like a weird 6 receptions incentive that could be interesting too. And he's been getting enough targets where I don't think that's crazy for his price tag to hit.
No.
Randy?
It's a no for me, dog. I don't think it was really good.
It's been too long.
Well, no, unfortunately it hasn't for me. I had to hear that last show about an hour ago.
How intense are your headphones? Oh, because you're wearing those headphones. Yeah, Dulcich maybe? No.
I don't have to get cute. It's okay.
I mean, Smith is Sal Cannella. I mean, do we really need to get this? Is this a preseason week? No. All right,
Sal
guys.
Cannella feels like someone's uncle hasn't left yet from Thanksgiving dinner. Uncle Sal.
Yeah, he does sound like an uncle. Sal, like Sal Cornell, Uncle Sal. Yeah, that does sound like somebody's uncle. There is an Uncle Sal out there. That's a thing.
I'm sure
that's a thing already.
Italian mob.
Guys, the answer at defense is highlighted on the screen.
Please tell me they're not chalky.
They are going to be one of the higher owned.
But not awful.
Not the highest. It's not even that bad. Because there are 3 wonderful defense spots this week. At least 3. Maybe a 4th one if we want to go down to the Commanders and just get some savings. But I don't even like that one. I don't think you're saving enough. Vikings against the Packers. Who are they playing? The 3rd string guy. Not Malik Willis. The guy who's after Malik Willis. I don't even know his name.
Clayton Tune. He's so good. They had Desmond Ridder practicing this week as well.
I brought up Ridder just in case. Des Ridder. So Vikings defense, load them, lock and load. If you're not comfortable, Broncos, I don't want to pay up for the Broncos, but they're certainly going up against the backups. Playable at home. They're going to smash. Texans against the Colts, smash. For $3,700. The downside of these is the price. The Jets are absolutely terrible. The Bills can smash.
Bills backups, though, probably still smash.
Absolutely still smash. The Jets are rolling out a team that we have a hard time playing in like one of these bowl games that I've been watching. Like lock button, the Hoosiers crush the Jets. No,
I know you don't believe that.
They don't. I'm kidding. They would.
The
crush
Jets win 105.
Yeah, they would crush the Hoosiers. I was just kidding, but they're almost that bad. And then the Hoosiers. Fuck, did that come from? I don't think I've ever said the name Hoosiers in relation to football before this weekend.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch that young quarterback. I wanted to watch that kid play, and I barely even got to see it because they were so ahead so fast that it was just a domination. You didn't get the drama. You didn't really get a sense of what kind of player he is. Commanders, guys against the backups for the Eagles on the road.
If you're looking to pay down in a deep tournament.
Yeah, not awful.
I guess, yeah.
I'm just trying to see if there's any other spot here.
Raiders against Olakuden or whatever the Chiefs' third stringer is.
I guess you could say, right? Raiders, okay. But I mean, for the most part, I don't even think you need to get that crazy.
Minnesota for me is just high above everybody else. I will be prioritizing them.
Do not lower the minimum salary. Well, he means the maximum salary, and no, do not do that. Spend all the money. There are enough studs on the slate that you could spend it. But play the expensive defenses. This is not a week to fuck around on defense. All of the Vikings
aren't even expensive.
The Vikings are cheap, but I would suggest that like one of the Broncos or the Texans could, like one of these teams could score like 30 or 25. So I do want to mix the other ones in.
Yes.
Vikings,
Denver, Trey Lance. Yes.
Yeah. Lock button it. Lock button Vikings in most of your entries this week. And then I'll mix in a little Broncos, a little Texans. And
Texans must win against Riley Leonard. Yes, please.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You nailed it.
Exactly.
Geek.
Just play these guys. Yeah. There's a little bit to the other ones, but Vikings, this is one of those weeks, as a matter of fact, where you can raise the cap when you're running 150 or 250 or whatever. You can raise the defense cap to like 50%. Yep. Like if you had 50% Vikings, okay. I support it. Because the Vikings, the difference between this and like some other spot is the Vikings already were good defensively. Their defense was already dominating and scoring points. So it sets up a unique situation.
Yeah, probably Brian Flores kind of last hurrah in Minnesota.
Why would they let him go?
Switch things up.
Greener pastures, bigger and better things than the Vikings DC.
Maybe.
I think maybe
We'll see.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
I think he's one of the better.
He certainly
coordinators.
sounded like it was his
Well,
last.
because he fancies himself a head coach.
Maybe he deserves another shot. I don't know.
I'd take him over Aaron Glenn.
Well, that's not saying that much, but yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I would definitely take him over Aaron Glenn. I think he's
100%.
actually one of the better defensive coordinators around. So I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not sure about his head coaching, but I don't know that I want him as. Yeah, I guess I'd take him over Aaron Glenn. Yeah, I'd rather have the Jets need an offensive coach, but
yeah. Agreed.
That's the problem. Is like, yeah, Jets would be a nice fit for him from just like a for him perspective, but the Jets need a lot more than just that.
They need an offensive. They need somebody from the Shanahan line who knows how to create an offense that's friendly to quarterbacks. That's it.
That's all they need. It's that simple.
Yeah. Not a quarterback.
Well, no. What the Jets end up doing is like, we're going to get, and it's always, like I said, the 49ers are good. Let's get the defense guy.
Todd Bowles is such a perfect example.
Bowles, that was a team that was a great. Let's get Todd Bowles in here. What? Bring back Herm Edwards. He doesn't know anything. He just yells.
Their one guy was Adam Gase. Oh my Lord. Oh my God.
I missed that so much. That was so much fun.
Oh, Adam Gase. The first press conference, you were like, oh, this is 2 years of misery coming up. You knew it was like a 2-year misery. I already knew. I wasn't open about it in the beginning. I was like, oh, this is not going to go well.
He made it 2 years? Man,
So
Jets turn around as he told us to hire an offensive mind.
Just to be clear, Peyton Manning is the one quarterback in the NFL that his thing is like, I don't really need an offensive coordinator. Just stay out of my way. I'll run the team. And we're like, let's get that guy. He did really well with Peyton.
Let's not forget he was in Chicago as well.
Oh, yeah. Great stuff. Will there be a playoff tournament tactics? Yes. So certainly we're going to have a tournament tactics tomorrow to attack this slate. And then for the playoffs, we're going to kind of change up the format just a smidge. And we'll focus a little more because, it's only, limited games. So we'll focus on more like setting up the optimizer or a cash lineup, that kind of thing. So we'll do a more basic or a different version of the Players Club. And we're still going to have our tournament tactics guys for the playoffs as well. We're going to talk through these slates. So we're going to be here all playoff long next few weeks, guys. I know there's still a lot of football to be played. It's a new year, a new opportunity.
And it gets good again.
What's that?
The most important kind of football is going to be played. Yeah.
I love playoff football because playoff football is when teams do what they're good at doing. So it's much more predictable in my opinion. And I find that the field tries to be a little bit more covering everything, where in the playoffs, you should really start to get down to expecting teams to do what they're best at. And that clarifies things for us in the playoffs. And it also allows us to leverage the fact that mostly the field wants to kind of spread and cover everything. So we're going to be a little more specific in the playoffs. And if we're right, we're going to crush it. Good luck, guys. Happy New Year to everybody. We appreciate you hanging out with us throughout this entire 2025 NFL season. We take it very serious here. I know we're silly. We have a little fun on the show, and I hope you guys enjoy that stuff, keeping it entertaining. But, okay, Jelly Skim, that's another one. All right, I'm interested in this. But in general, we take it very seriously. We appreciate you guys being here with us, putting your faith in this show, putting your faith in DFS Army, signing up at DFS Army, being part of our crew the whole season long, and putting your joy of football. And I get your wonderful DMs all the time, and I hear those messages, and I have to tell you, it is wholly satisfying. I love it when you guys. I used to lose. I'm making money now. It's been great. I've been following you for these weeks. All of those wonderful messages that you guys send to us, we appreciate it. I appreciate it. And we take it very seriously here. We're always working to be better. We will be working to be better over this offseason as well and come back for 2026 even stronger. Of course, we got the playoffs. We're going to crush it here. But just know that the fantasy football season never stops here. We're going to keep going throughout the offseason. We're going to have our best ball action. We're going to talk a little bit of dynasty, but a lot of best ball, a lot of that good stuff. So stick around. We appreciate you. Overzet on the, we appreciate it. Yeah, we had Overzet on the draft battle this week. Good dude. Awesome. And one of the things I like about Overzet is he's one of the rare people in the space that's actually entertaining and funny to watch. And there's like very few of that. And I personally really like that. So I put a lot of props out to, I put a lot of props out to folks like that as well. So I was really excited to get him on that show. And hopefully we'll do more things together with that fellow. So good luck this weekend, everybody. Helmets up. We'll be back tonight. A little bit of setup for this 2-gamer. Tomorrow, we'll get a Players Club going. Good luck this weekend. Josiah, for WoW, I'm Geek. Helmets up, guys. Good luck this week.